Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm here to talk about yoga. I used to be able to take long 90-minute classes a few times a week, and then my daughter was born, and now I have about 10 minutes a day. I think you moms and dads know what I mean. So I decided to take what I learned from those years of yoga and apply them to my new vibration machine workout. So what is yoga? A lot of people think of flexibility and strength, maybe mental clarity and physical well-being. They often think of it as an exercise though, and to me it's more than that. I found it's more of a moving meditation. It's staying in the present. Now what's that mean? That's not thinking of the past. So simply put, that's not thinking of who said what to who or what happened in your day. It's not thinking of the future. So not making to-do lists in your head. I'm really guilty of that one. Not making grocery lists, not thinking of what you're going to make for dinner. It's focusing on your 10 minutes and keeping those 10 minutes for you. It's actually a lot harder than it sounds, but there's a few tricks that yoga gives us that help us do that. First trick, mindfulness or awareness. To keep your mind from wandering, focus in on your body and what your muscles are doing. This has two advantages. One is it's for your mind. It gives you a little mini vacation from your day. But the second advantage is for your body. By keeping your awareness on those muscles, they don't get a chance to relax. The machine does a lot, and it'll keep your muscles going even without you thinking about it. But if you do get a chance to think and focus in on what you're doing, those muscles are going to work that much harder, and your physical fitness is going to get that much better. Second principle, breathing. Breathing is the heart of yoga in many ways. It helps refocus the mind. So when your mind wanders, and it's going to wander, come back to your breath. It's the first thing you do. The second thing it does is help to guide your workout. We don't think in terms of a minute or seconds, we think in terms of breaths, so 5 breaths or 10 breaths. Also, if you find that you can't keep up with your breath, if it's moving too quickly, that's your body's way of telling you you're going too fast. Slow down. Your body is going to help pace you, and your breath is going to show you how fast you need to go. The breath itself is really simple. It's in and out through the nose, trying to keep your inhales the same length as your exhales. I'll try to do it for you now. You sometimes find in yoga classes that people breathe kind of loudly so they can hear it. I'll try to do it for you too, so you can hear where I'm at my pace. Try to use your whole lung, not just shallow like we usually do. The pace is going to be your own, so use your own breath to guide you. I spend the first full minute of my workout standing, and it's often the hardest part of my workout. You could spend the full 10 minutes on standing if you like, and you'll find that you'll get a workout too. First, we set the feet, keeping the toes together, or if you're comfortable, spreading those feet out to right under the hips. This makes the amplitude a little longer, but if you can manage it, it's better for you. Keep those toes spread out, including the baby toe. That often slips. Get that baby toe out from the rest of them. Keep the weight distributed from the front to the back, left to the right. You'll often find when your feet are set, the rest of the leg comes into line and you'll feel those muscles engage. Now let's set the knees. Keeping a micro bend in them, so not hyperextended locked, not bent either, just with a little bit of room all around them. This will also get your muscles engaged. Feel those muscles working. Now set the core. Your ribs should be floating over your hip bones. Don't let the hips jut out or push back, right in the center. Keep in mind, there's no bones in this area. This is just your muscles working to keep you upright, so they're really important. Now we set the shoulders, keeping your shoulder blades back and down. Don't force it, but comfortably floating. Definitely make sure though that they're behind you. Lastly, don't forget about the head. A lot of us walk around with our chins jutting out. This is the last part of the spine. Make sure that your head is up. I often find after I've set the shoulders, the ribs start to pop up. Bring them back down. We want to keep them in line with the hip. I like to get moving with a forward bend. It gets those muscles stretched out. So I'm facing forward, feeling my shoulders come back, ribs not popping out but hovering over the hip. I'm going to bend from the hip, breathing down, hands supporting me on either the thigh or if you're a little further down on the calf, don't put your hands on your knees. It puts a little too much pressure on them. If you really can bend forward, get 2 fingers under each of your big toes. And now your arms can resist a little bit too. They get a workout. Don't forget your abs. Trying to breathe 5 even breaths. Now let's try a quad stretch. It works the opposite side of the leg, and I also like it because it's a bit of a balance. So let's get one foot in the center, bring your other leg up, and resist a little bit with your arms so that your arms get a workout too. Yoga gives you what you give it, so if you want your whole body to get a benefit, your whole body has to work. On your 3rd breath, let's switch legs. Continue to 5 breaths. One of my favorite postures is chair pose or a squat because it works the whole body, particularly the quads. So we're setting our feet, remembering to breathe, bringing the shoulders back in line, arms out, bending at the knees and at the hips. Don't let those knees go past the toes. Bringing the head back up. Try to do 5 breaths. Now let's try a bridge pose, which works the opposite side of the body that the chair or squat that we just did. So have your feet on the platform. We're going to be using our hamstrings and glutes. Lower down. Now the same principles we learned in standing applies, so don't forget about those ribs hovering over the hip bone as you raise the hips, using those glutes, hamstrings. Don't forget to breathe for 5 even breaths. Now let's work on the upper body, starting with the classic push-up. So hands come onto the platform right at the ends, legs back. Now the same principles we learned from standing apply. Ribs are hovering over the hips, keeping those abs engaged. We're lowering down, bending at the elbows. Try to count as long as you can for a count of 5 breaths. It'd be hard to hold it that long, but you can come back up when you reach 90. And try it one more time. And always remembering to breathe. You may have noticed that we're doing things in pairs, so we want the other side of the arms now. This is the back of the arm. Keeping your hands on the platform. Your feet can be close to the machine, or if you're feeling up for it, bring your feet out until they're all the way extended out. Making your ribs over the hips, lowering down from the elbows, inhaling up, exhaling down for 5 even breaths. Now let's move on to the core with a V-sit. So we're sitting on the edge of the machine, making sure our body is aligned, leaning back, feel those abs working. Now let's bring the legs up into it. 1, 2, holding with the arms. Now release the arms if you can for 5 breaths. Let's finish off our ab pairing with a plank. So we're putting our arms on the platform, interlacing those fingers, thumbs down. Get your feet out. This is where your baby toes get really important, so make sure those toes are spread, including the baby toes supporting you. Holding for 5 breaths, feeling your ribs connecting with the hips, and breathe. We all know the importance of flexibility, so I like to do another forward bend, this one seated. Keeping my feet as if they were standing, so engaged with the baby toes spread out, all the toes engaged. Hands either on the thigh, skipping over the knee, onto the calf, or if you can reach, 2 fingers around the big toes, with your arms engaged, stretching down for 5 even breaths. When you're done those, I like to go through the cycle again to add up to about 10 minutes. If you like, you can incorporate different exercises to have your own routine. Incorporating the principles of breathing and body awareness can sometimes be a challenge, so I hope you don't get too discouraged. But I figure it's only 10 minutes. Why not make the most of it? And I really hope that you enjoy it.